Okay, let's get straight to it. You're a healthcare provider. A child presents with anaphylaxis. What are the essential actions right now? We're focusing on the core steps you need. Right. Fast, direct, let's go.
Absolutely. Getting this sequence right and fast is everything. Time is so critical here.
Right. So step one, immediate assessment, airway, breathing, circulation, check them instantly.
Yes. And clear the allergen if you can see it. A stinger out, maybe food residue.
Yeah.
Then position the child. Lay them flat.
Flat, okay. Unless maybe they're vomiting or really struggling to breathe.
Exactly. Then you can let them sit up a bit, maybe legs out. But the key thing is they should never stand up or walk. Keep them down.
Got it. Keep them down. Then the big one, epinephrine.
The absolute priority. Give it intramuscularly right away. Do not wait for IV access.
And the dose, precision matters here.
It does. It's 0.01 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. You need to calculate that carefully.
Okay, 0.01 mil per kilo. Is there a max?
Yes, a maximum of 0.5 milligrams per dose. That's the ceiling. Inject right into the middle of the outer thigh.
And if it's not working, if symptoms continue?
Repeat it every 5 to 15 minutes. Epinephrine first, epinephrine fast. We really can't say that enough.
Okay, epi's in. What's next? Airway management.
Yes, you need to be ready. If you see signs of swelling or hear noisy breathing like stridor, you have to anticipate needing to secure that airway.
And pediatric airways can be tricky.
Very.
Yeah.
If you have specialists available, pediatricians, anesthesia, get them involved. And have your emergency airway kit ready. You might even need a surgical airway set up on standby.
Okay, airway readiness, then supportive measures.
Right, oxygen, high flow oxygen immediately.
And monitoring, continuous monitoring.
Definitely. Watch heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rate, O2 sats constantly. You need to see any changes as they happen.
Next, getting access. Fluids.
Get lines in quickly. Aim for 2 large bore IVs if you can manage it fast.
And if IV access is tough, child's in shock.
Intraosseous access. Don't hesitate. It's a reliable, rapid route.
Good point. Fluids for low blood pressure.
Yes. Isotonic saline. Give a bolus. 20 milliliters per kilogram. And repeat that if the blood pressure is still low.
Keep them lying flat or maybe head slightly down during fluids.
Right. That helps with perfusion, getting blood back to the core.
Okay, so we've got epi, airway prep, oxygen monitoring, access, fluids. What about other meds? Antihistamines, steroids?
Those come after epinephrine. They are supportive. Think antihistamines, steroids, maybe inhaled bronchodilators for wheezing.
But they don't replace epi.
Absolutely not. They manage secondary symptoms. They don't reverse the life-threatening stuff like epinephrine does. And if blood pressure stays low despite fluids, you might need vasopressors, meds to support heart function.
Right. So after the immediate crisis, when the child's critical,
then the investigation and planning start. You need to figure out the trigger. Take a really detailed history. Allergy testing will likely be needed.
And education for the family is huge, I imagine.
Crucial. Teach them about avoiding the trigger. Show them exactly how to use an epinephrine autoinjector. Practice it.
Give them a written action plan, too.
Yes, a clear step-by-step emergency plan.
Yeah.
And prescribe epinephrine autoinjectors. Usually 2. For home, for school.
And make sure they follow up with specialists.
Allergy specialists, yes. That whole package helps stabilize the child and prepares everyone for the future.
So to recap the essentials, assess fast, epinephrine first, secure the airway readiness, support with oxygen, monitoring, fluids, then consider other meds, and finally, nail down the cause and make a solid plan. It's a rapid sequence.
It is a structured approach that saves lives and provides that safety net moving forward.
Okay, here's something to think about as we wrap up. We know airway issues can escalate incredibly fast in kids. How does really anticipating that potential difficulty, having that low threshold for get advanced airway gear ready, change how you first react the moment you see a child with early signs of severe anaphylaxis? How does that readiness shape those first few critical seconds?